Hello, I'm Scott Crook of Crook and Taylor Law, also known as the Utah Employment Lawyer. Today, in the Utah Employment Law Quick Tip Series, I will be discussing the Utah Conceal Carry Firearms Amendments, legislation which was passed by the Utah Legislature and signed into law by Governor Spencer Cox on February 15th. The question I'll be answering today is, how does the 2021 amendment affect Utah public employers? The law essentially says that beginning on May 5th, 2021, any person 21 years of age or older can carry a loaded handgun in the open or concealed in the state of Utah. Now, as for private employers, this legislation doesn't do anything that would vary what an employer could do prior to the amendments. But for public employers, it has a substantial effect. And that is because about 15 years ago, the legislature passed legislation which said that only it could set the firearms policy for the state of Utah, and that no political subdivision of the state or local government entity could pass any regulation, rule, ordinance, or policy that varied in any respect from the Utah State Legislature's statutes. What this meant was that any public employer in the state of Utah that had any firearms policies, those policies, if they varied at all from the Utah state legislation, in other words, if they were more restrictive or they required a person to do particular things that the statutes didn't require, that those were all invalid. So what this means is that now that this amendment has passed, no Utah public employer can prevent an employee who is 21 years of age or older from carrying a loaded handgun. There are some exceptions, and those exceptions, though, are provided for in the legislation, and that would be that you can't carry a concealed weapon or even a loaded weapon in the open in certain secure areas. And those include correctional and mental health facilities. They also include court-restricted areas, airport-restricted areas, and any private residence or house of worship that has posted notice that weapons aren't permitted. So if a public employer's employees don't go to those places, any firearms policy that would be more restrictive than what the statute provides would be considered illegal, and therefore it will have a big effect on what public employers can do. Now, of course, the law changes frequently, and it is possible that before May 5th, the legislature may decide that it doesn't want to, in fact, follow this bill that it passed, and it could change that. Also, the information provided is not intended as legal advice. It's best to check with a competent attorney to get specific advice about your situation. We're happy to talk to you about that if you want to give us a call at the contact information provided below. Thank you.